Hi everyone, this is block number 3 for our Block of the Month challenge in Stitch It with Cricut Facebook group. You can find a link to the group in the description under this video. If you'd like to sew along as I assemble this block, keep watching. The first thing we're going to do as we get ready to assemble this March block is take our two larger light color squares. If you don't have the Cricut fabric pen to draw this line, you can always draw it by hand afterwards. So we'll take one of those, put it good side facing up, and one of the larger dark squares, and put it good side facing down. So now what we're going to do is sew a 1/4 inch on each side of that diagonal line. So a 1/4 inch away from that diagonal line on each side. We're going to repeat that on our second largest squares. And these are going to make our 4 half square triangles. So I'm going to sew those, cut them, and I'll be back to show you. So just to review again, I've sewn a 1/4 inch on each side of this diagonal line. I hope that you can see it in this lighting. And what I'm going to do now is cut right along that drawn line to create my half square triangles. So we're just going to line up a ruler right along that diagonal line. And cut. And then we'll press our two sides open and we'll have our 4 square triangles and we'll be ready to start setting up our block. Okay, I've pressed those 2 triangles over to the dark side, my seam going to the dark side, and we're going to set up. So you're going to take your first dark square and it will be the center. Take a light, put it on top, a medium, and one of your half square triangles with the point facing down towards the right. We're going to take a second half square triangle, put it on the left with the darker point facing down towards the left. We'll put a white or light color towards the center and a medium color on the edge. And don't ever worry that when you lay them out they don't look like they fit together, because once all your seams are sewn they will fit together. We'll do another light on this side and a medium, and then a half square triangle pointing up towards the left, a light, a medium, and a half square triangle pointing up towards the right. So that's how you want to lay it out. You want your half square triangles, top row pointing down, bottom row pointing up. And you don't want it in this way. That isn't the right way. You want it to be going out. There we go. We're going to start by attaching our medium and light fabrics together. We're going to do all 4. You want to sew a 1/4 inch seam to sew them together and then press your fabric towards the darker side. So I'm going to get that done and I'll be back to show you the next steps. And we're back with our squares assembled and pressed towards the darker fabric. It's actually your medium fabric. You want to press in that direction and lay them out like this, with your medium fabric towards the outside. Okay. As I was reviewing this video, I realized that the video had stalled. It had cut out in between one of the steps. When we had 9 separate squares, the video cut out. So what you wanted to do at that point was create 3 rows. Assemble the 3 top squares, the 3 middle squares, and the 3 bottom squares, and then go on to the next step of assembling our rows. Okay, so we have our 3 rows assembled. In the center row, I've pressed my seams towards the middle, the darker block. In the top and bottom rows, I've pressed my seams outwards. The reason to do this is so that when you assemble your rows, you're able to nest your seams. You have 1 seam in each direction, and you're able to line our seams up perfectly. That way we don't lose our points and our corners look terrific. So we're going to attach the top row to the middle and the bottom row to the middle. We'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. And there we have it. This is our March block of the month. It's called Farm Friendliness. I think it's really adorable. I love it. All my seams are pressed. I need to trim up these little dog ears to make it nice and neat. Press that again as I moved it out actually. And then we'll just square it up. And that's all there is to it. So I hope you're enjoying this block of the month challenge. If you're looking for it after seeing this video, you can find it in my Facebook group called Stitch It with Cricut. Thank you for watching.